Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good week in the market. It's Friday, March 18th. We're gonna go over some of this GME action today. Did a earnings live stream yesterday, so we didn't have a video. If you want to hear about that, that is under live stream playlist. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. We have Twitter. You can follow us on at Happy Money YT, as well as a Discord server. Link for that is in the description. It's free to join. And yeah, GME, epic. Firstly, SPY. Let's see, today's a triple witching, and basically all the big option expirations end today. So a lot of rebalancing, a lot of shifting around of exposure, rolling over exposure. Gamma gets freed up. The market can kind of make a new shift from here on out. So today's kind of interesting, and then the next week or two we'll kind of see where money's flowing into, I think. I think the derivatives exposure was over $1 trillion expiring today, which is insane. One of, I think, the biggest triple witchings we've had potentially. So kind of saw some stuff in the morning with certain stocks kind of squeezing a bit. Roots up almost 20%. Mullen, Kodak, blast from the past, up 33%. I really didn't play really any of these squeezy ones this time. I have Astra, that's up almost 15%. So yeah, market's just in kind of a squeezy time with all this bearishness coming down, and kind of stuff's getting squeezed now that it's pumping. So volatility is definitely still here, and GME is joining right in with that, and maybe part of the reason why they moved up the earnings date to yesterday. I'm not entirely sure yet. I feel like we might find out. But yeah, so GameStop came down like 8% after earnings. Not crazy, and then leveled out there, and then really just ripped from open. Ripped up, consolidated, and we are now back. It's now ripping into close. We're at power hour, and I think we're getting some, maybe the ETF rebalancing going on. Next week also is the XRT dividend. And so I don't know, the GameStop could continue to rip next week. The indicators I was looking for on the 4-hour have happened. We've got, and now this 4-hour too, so it looks like it's going to be good. Big green, big volume over the 9. It didn't open over the 9, but it closed over the 9. The fact that it's such a big green engulfing candle with volume. And then we had the bullish MACD crossover. Yeah, I'm thinking the cycle is probably broken to some extent, or it's changed, because I don't see it doesn't look like repeating these. I don't think this was, I don't know, this just doesn't look like anything else so far, especially if we start to rip from here. And I think we could, and I guess I'd like to see bullish on the daily, but so far this 4-hour bullishness is it's really strong, and the volume is definitely there today. This Yaz down a little bit. So, and then we coming into next week, this puts a lot of calls into the money, and there could be covering going on next week if we hold up pretty good levels. Last time we had a ETF rebalancing, GameStop made a big move, but it wasn't until 10 minutes to close. This time it started 250. So I don't know if they have a lot. I think they do have a lot of ETF exposure that they have to roll or close. Based on what I've heard, it's more than they've had, I think, since January, maybe even before January, last January, or 2 Januaries ago rather. So maybe that's why they started so early. So me recording this video now, it could be crazy by the end of today. I guess you'll know by the time you're watching this, or maybe it'll settle back down somewhere in that 90 range. My plays are all so dead that we have to have a big move for most of them to come back to life. I will show you what I did though. So remember how I decided to open up short puts. I opened those up. Where did I actually open those? I think I opened them yesterday. No, I opened them today. Yeah, I didn't have anything coming in. I opened those in the morning. Some 20 delta short puts for next Friday on the margin account. I closed them. Let's see. I closed them here, and they were up, I don't know, 10% or something. Made a few hundred. I closed them here because I wanted to buy shares. So let's see, where did I close them? No, it was actually here. I kind of waited. I was hoping it was going to get to VWAP. It didn't. I closed them out right here and then bought shares. And yeah, here we are. So that was kind of my plan for those shares. And if next week starts to get big, I'll probably sell some covered calls on it. Let me pull it up here. It's kind of messed up, and I wasn't even thinking of this when I planned this out. But it did end up being a wash sale. So it made my cost basis. This is weird that it actually makes my cost basis what it was. I understand for taxes, but I can't wrap my head around why that's actually showing that as my cost basis. So it's a wash sale, but yeah, I got these today at like 90 something, 91 or 92. But yeah, basically just put it back to where I was. So I guess it's maybe only helpful for my margin. You guys can correct me in the comments. I'm not sure. I'm not really messed with margin. So I think I understand the gist of a wash sale, but I don't get why it wouldn't, at least on the account, show a different cost basis. But at the very least, I'm hopeful that I have more margin since I bought it back in at a lower price. But anyways, yeah, here they are. So there's the 500 that I had short puts on, and yeah, just turned them into shares basically. Closed out, turned them into shares, and yeah, we'll ride this thing out. We'll look at the 4 hour. I'm thinking for an exit or covered calls, depending on what we do with those shares. Probably looking for just a red under the 9 moving average, kind of like it did here, as well as a bearish MACD would be nice, but might not wait for that MACD to cross, depending on how big of a rip it is. If it's like a pinch, yeah, I've got a lot more margin room to play with. If it's just up to 120 or so, you know, I have less margin of error basically. But I'd like to just sell covered calls on that and stay away from it being a margin problem. So if we can get away from 90, it'll be easier to hold that and roll covered calls on. And then on the trading account, yeah, I'm trying to sell covered calls on birds. I sold some actually, I think. Yeah, I sold some. A lot of stuff is moving around today because this options expiration. Sold some on birds. All my GME stuff is, like I said, it's in the gutter. So a lot of exposure for next Friday, and then some for the final Friday, and then some for the April expiration. So I rolled the put credit spread today or yesterday, I can't remember. I rolled that to middle of April, widened the spread out. Now it's even bigger. It's this one right here. So this is the big thing eating my margin right now. Hopefully this one works out. It's I keep when I'm rolling it forward, I'm also rolling the strike down, so it's getting closer to being in the money. But I'm also having to widen the spread, so it's eating up more collateral. But basically, max gain on this one will be if we close above 140 at expiration mid-April, and that'll be 21 grand, which would be nice. But a lot of there's big chunks of that are eaten up from closing previous credit spreads and opening this one. So we'll see on that one. And then actually, I did average into a bearish play today, also on GME, just in case this chart keeps spinning out the way, or the cycle keeps repeating. Towards the beginning of the day, I thought it probably was, and then I started to shift and think I don't think we're doing the cycle. Everything is looking bullish now. Everything going on with next week. Yeah, I'm not certain that we're going to be repeating the cycle to the downside, or maybe we are, and this is as far down as it's going to go. Buying pressure here at this level is pretty incredible, and it's probably mostly just from the hedgies and they're rolling over, and the ETFs and everything like that, more so than like institutions buying in. We know it's not retail for the most part; they've already bought in, but yeah. At any rate, yeah, I'm stoked. I think we could have maybe some consolidation on Monday. Maybe they short it down a bit, back down to this level. We'll see how the rest of the day plays out. There's 40 minutes left. Volume's kind of tapering here. We'll probably bring it back down into close. But next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if I had buying power, I'd maybe get some exposure that's not so beaten down. Because these ones for next week are just, yeah, there's probably break even. Break even on this one's 154. That's pretty far out there. Yeah. And then I've got 215 to 160 calls. If we get a big candle, I could maybe get out of these. We'll see. That'd be a pretty big candle next week. And then this one for the next Friday, that's 134. A little lower. When I was opening these up, I mean, the price, of course, was way higher on GME. So not only did we lose to Theta Decay, but we lost, I think we lost like, since that time we've lost like $20 in share price. But now it's coming back up. But just this big dip, that's going to crush all premiums from here to here. But it's always nice to get time and time for it to work out. Typically try and get at least a month, but and I think with GME it's probably a good idea, at least a month, just because the monthlies especially, the spreads are tighter. Our Tesla plays working out, it's coming up. Don't have a whole lot again on all these little squeeze plays going on. Haven't had buying power and want to just kind of slow down and watch it a bit. I've got enough exposure on GME if it wants to play ball in this current environment that we're seeing ourselves in. Sure stuff I'm forgetting. Earnings were pretty awesome. DRS, 8.9 million DRS shares and 125,000 shareholders that have direct registered. So basically 71 shares on average that have direct registered their shares. So crap, I actually put up a poll, I forgot. If you saw the poll, go put in your vote. If you have DRS shares, I just want to know what percentage of your overall shares you've DRS. So if you have 100 shares and you put 20 shares in DRS, you just put 20% on the poll. Feel free to comment though on the poll and let me know your exact number and we'll get a better calculation, because that'll help us really see how many shares are out there. An average share count would help a lot. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you on Discord. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Little space cadetty. Looks like it's coming down here. We'll see what happens at VWAP. Have a good afternoon and a good weekend. Peace out.